because they aren't wearing their backpacks correctly. Joining me to talk about the trend and show us how to properly fit kids' backpacks is Dr. Ron Fisher of New Care in Menasha. Good morning.
Morning.
Thank you, and Rosalind, for getting up so early. So, Dr. Fisher, you're a chiropractor. Tell me about the trend that you're seeing.
I'm seeing a lot more of high school and middle school kids coming with neck pains, headaches, shoulder pains, pain between the shoulder blades, things like that. And the research is showing that it is coming from improper use of backpacks, too heavy, not wearing them properly, things of that nature.
Okay, and you've brought along Rosalind this morning to show us. Let's go ahead and talk about the way maybe perhaps kids are wearing them and the way they should be wearing them.
Okay, this is probably the first thing that we usually see with a lot of kids wearing it just on one shoulder like this. When
because
it does
it's
that,
cool.
Right,
You
that's
know?
exactly it. When it does that, the weight of the backpack will pull the shoulder down. Kid wants to stand up straight, so they're going to lean the other way. So we can see it was already starting to cause curvatures in the spine, muscle tightness, tension. The head is coming across like this, shortening up this area and through here. So always wear your backpack on both shoulders. Go ahead and put it on both shoulders, Roz. There we go. Now this backpack is too heavy for Rosalind. That's another thing we got to look at.
How do we know that?
The weight of the backpack should not exceed 10 to 15% of the body's weight. So for example, Roz here weighs about 100 pounds. Her backpack should not weigh more than 15. This is about a 20-pound pack, which she's got an extra textbook in there today. But you can see what it's doing as the heavy of the backpack, it starts to pull her backwards like this. What that'll do is it'll, number one, cause imbalance. So as she tries to go upstairs and things like that, stepping off a curb, start getting slippery in December, things like that, chances of falling is going to be much, much higher. In order for her to compensate for that, she's going to have to lean forward. And as she leans forward, it's going to, again, stress a lot of the muscles in the upper back and shoulder. In order for her to look straight ahead, her head's going to have to come back like this. Now, we've got the weight of the backpack pulling these shoulders down. The head is coming back. These muscles all across and through here, across the back of the shoulders, are all very, very tight. Now she's going to school. She gets to school. She's sitting there hunched over a desk trying to write and things like that. Everything is collapsing. By noon,
she's just going to be,
Exactly, exactly. So first thing we need to do, we need to lighten up this backpack. Take out a couple of books. If we do have a lot of books that have to be carried, you can balance it by carrying some of the heavier ones up in front. That'll help to kind of give you a little balance, kind of counterweight like that. The other things we want to do when we're looking at backpack fitting, the bottom of the backpack should be even with the waist or a little bit higher. It should never hang below the waist. If it hangs below the waist, then you're starting to lean back more. But if we get it up like this, that'll work good. If you have a waist strap, that's another good thing you want to make sure. If the waist strap is there, use it. It takes a lot of stress off the back, keeps the backpack clamped to your back. It doesn't slide around. It gives you more stability like that. Those are some things that we start to look at as far as that goes.
And now you address these very things in a clinic that you're sponsoring all week. Tell us about that.
What we're doing all next week, Monday through Saturday, parents can bring their kids in with their loaded backpacks. We'll check the fit. We'll adjust the straps. We'll weigh the backpack and the child. Then we'll also do a spinal and postural exam to make sure that they aren't already suffering some postural problems from carrying the backpacks previously. It's free. It's open to the public. Anybody can do it. Give us a call. And we'll help them out.
You guys will get them. Okay, we're going to be talking to you again in about a half hour. I think it's important to note, we want to remind parents that, again, check those backpacks before they're heading out the door. I wouldn't know, looking at her, that her backpack was too heavy for her unless she were to hunch over, the way that she was. So parents may not realize they're walking out the door already weighed down too heavily.
Exactly.
Okay.
Monitor your kids and check it for them.
Okay, Dr. Ron Fisher of New Care Chiropractor, thanks for coming in. And Rosalind, we'll be talking to you guys in about another half hour.
Thanks, Ed.
All right, thanks. Well, there's still much more ahead. Stick around, because they aren't wearing their backpacks correctly. Joining me to talk about the trend and show us how to properly fit your kids' backpacks is Dr. Ron Fisher of New Care in Menasha. So, Dr. Fisher, you're a chiropractor. Let's go ahead and cut right to the chase and talk about what kids are putting in their backpacks, why it's too heavy, and what they need to do to correct the problem.
Okay. Well, obviously they got textbooks, they got notebooks, pens, pencils, calculators, their lunch. There's a whole bunch of things that the kids are putting in there. What I want to show today to start with is, go ahead and hold this up here, Oz. When you're loading a backpack, you want to put the flatter, softer items like these notebooks and folders and things like that. Things you want to avoid are the small books like this, putting it up against your back, because when you put it in your backpack, now you got that square pushing against your back like that. So put that in there. The heavier textbooks, put again closer to the back. You don't want them hanging way out, because then it makes the backpack pull out a lot farther.
Okay.
If you have a lot of textbooks, a lot of heavy textbooks, what you want to do, go ahead and put the backpack on there, Oz. Again, the backpack shouldn't weigh more than 10 to 15% of your child's body weight. Again, Roz weighs about 100 pounds, so her backpack should not weigh more than 15 pounds. What she has in here is about 12 pounds, but she's got 2 more textbooks here that weigh about 8 pounds total. What she'll want to do is want to carry them in front of her very closely like this. What that'll do is now give her some balance to where now she's not leaning too far forward, too far backwards that way. Plus, it's a little bit more comfortable. How does it feel, Roz? Good.
You also showed us at 610 about wearing the double straps and not just the one.
Right. You always want to wear both straps. With wearing just one strap, what it'll do is it'll pull the spine off to one side. The body will try to compensate for that, tightening up various muscles, things like that. A lot of tightness up in the neck and shoulder area and things like that. So always wear both straps. Always helps to have padded straps. So check your backpacks. If your packs are just thin straps, it cuts into the shoulder. It makes it very uncomfortable, and the child will want to stick their thumbs under it and stuff like that. So we want to make sure the straps are firm. What we want to have as far as the height of the backpack, we want to have the bottom of the backpack slightly above the waist. We'll need to tighten these up here when we get home. And if you have a waist strap, that works also to help balance the backpack and keep it stable against the back so it's not sliding around.
Before we talk about your clinic that you're going to be sponsoring for parents, talk to me just briefly about the kinds of injuries you see if you don't have this proper fit.
If you don't have the proper fit, what will happen is that the backpack will start to pull back on the body, and what will happen is the child will then have to lean forward in order to compensate for that. When they lean forward, the head will come back like this in order for them to look straight ahead. A lot of tightness up in the muscles, up in the neck, across the shoulders, in between the shoulder blades. And again, they go in the classroom, they're hunched over their desks, the shoulders are coming up. All day long, their head and neck is coming together like this. Creates a lot of tension there, leads to headaches, shoulder pain, mid-back pain, can aggravate things like allergies and asthma as well. It just collapses the ribs and creates breathing problems. So you want to make sure that, again, we want to keep the shoulders relaxed, keep the backpack off, allow the body to stand up straight. Also, when the backpack is too heavy in the back, it'll cause them to lean back just a little bit or pull them back. Now, if they're going upstairs or over curbs and things like that, it creates a potential for falls and slips and things of that nature.
In about 15 seconds, let's tell people about this clinic that you have going on.
What we're doing is parents can bring their kids in with the fully loaded backpack. We'll weigh the child, weigh the backpack, make sure that it's the proper weight, and then we'll check the fit. Then we'll also do a postural and spinal screen to see if there's any potential problems that have already developed.
At New Care all next week.
Yep.
All right, thank you, Dr. Ron Fisher and Rosalind, for coming in.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, guys.